Hi everybody, I'm Bree the Plant Lady, and today I'm sowing more cool season seeds. I've been getting a lot of questions about whether it's too late to sow seeds here in Zone 7, and the answer is no. In fact, now is when you should be doing your last round of seeding for your cool season crops, and you should still be waiting on those summer plants like tomatoes and peppers and eggplants. I promise you this strategy will make your experience growing over the next 6 to 8 weeks so much more pleasant. All the plants that you should be sowing now can stay outside. You don't need to have them in your house under lights at all. They will germinate really quickly, and you'll be able to start harvesting from them in probably just a few weeks' time. All of these cool season vegetables are really low maintenance, and growing them now in March, as I mentioned, they're gonna germinate really quickly, and they'll look beautiful. And even if we do get some temperature drops, they won't be impacted negatively versus all those summer things that are not frost tolerant. So like I always do, I'm just using recycled trays from past plant purchases, and I filled it with Pro Mix potting soil. It's not my preferred soil. So I was just trying to use up a bag that I found in my shed. I really prefer to seed directly in soil cube because it holds more moisture and the seedlings grow out so well. But this is the last of it, so I'm just kind of getting rid of it. And I've got two types of seed. Actually, these really awesome people that were at a symposium with me over the weekend, Permaculture Gardens, Nikki and Dave, they gave me Ford Hook Giant Swiss Chard, and I also have Bright Lights, which is a really showy one. And the reason that I'm doing Swiss Chard now is that often it will actually survive the summer, even here, and look really great in containers. Swiss Chard is a leafy green. You don't have to be so exact to only have one seed in the hole. I'm gonna do about 3 per hole. And with the Bright Lights, which is what I'm sowing right now, with any luck, it'll be 3 different colors. So each cell will be like super impactful. And if you've never seen Swiss Chard seed, it's actually really quite interesting. All right, I ended up filling this entire tray just with Bright Lights, and I still have some extra. So I think the Ford Hook Giant and the rest of these, I'm gonna direct sow. So I'll be able to show you both methods, and then you can decide what works best for your space. In the tray, I'm just gonna tap it so that the soil covers up those holes. I'll get this labeled and watered, and I'm just gonna toss this into my greenhouse, and I suspect all of this will germinate by the end of the week. Here's a perfect example of one of my winter interest pots that's not looking as good as it could. And that's because last week we got to 20 degrees and things like snapdragons really suffered. And there's some areas where the mustards actually died down. So I have a lot of open space in here that I can direct sow some Swiss Chard into, and that would grow out and really give this a lot more interest. And I'm gonna take this opportunity to go ahead and trim back these bits of snapdragon that are damaged and get this pot cleaned up once and for all. Okay, you can see I've opened up some space, and I'm using my groundhog, my favorite tool. Basically, I am just gonna dig a couple of holes so I can scatter seeds in random spots throughout this pot. And in this container, I'm gonna primarily focus on doing the Bright Lights. So just like in the seed trays, that just means dropping a couple of seeds into the hole right from the pack. Just like that. These are sort of this pot is in a great spot. Everything should germinate really quickly at this time of year. Just gonna kind of rough that up a little. And my guess is 3 weeks from now, you'd never even know that this pot didn't have Swiss Chard growing in it. And what about growing Swiss Chard directly in the ground? Well, it's just the same exact easy process. Here I am out in this big front border, but I've got kind of an empty space right here. So I'm just gonna rough it up again using my handy groundhog. Just kind of open that soil up a bit. And then I am just gonna sort of scatter in mass that Ford Hook giant seed. And I think this will be the perfect solution for this kind of boring corner. Just like that, seed is in. And now I'm just gonna take my hand and cover it back up. And I suspect that it will germinate in the pots and the trays a little bit faster just because the soil will be warmer. But again, this is the season for these cool, loving crops, just like Swiss chard, broccoli, cauliflower, kale, cabbage, mustard, spinach, arugula, lettuce. So take advantage of this time in March and do one more round of cool season vegetables so that you can enjoy growing them with ease through the next 6 weeks. Remember, it's just started to be spring, so you don't have to rush to summer. Don't skip the spring season. Lean into growing one more round of cool season vegetables. I promise you'll enjoy it. I hope this video will inspire you to grow some Swiss chard to enjoy for its beauty and its bounty. If you found this video to be helpful, please give me a like, share it with your friends, and be sure to subscribe to the Bree the Plant Lady YouTube channel for more practical gardening information. As always, thank you so much for watching, and happy gardening, everybody.